Two titans of business management, Sage or Odoo. In 2025, which one truly fits your operation? On the left, Sage, robust, compliance-focused financial management. And on the right, Odoo, an all-in-one, modular, open-source suite. Let's cut through the buzzwords and see what they can actually do for your business. We'll score each category so you can see exactly how they stack up and who comes out on top. The result might surprise you. Before we start, let me lay out what we're covering today. We're talking price and licensing, customization and flexibility, core accounting, integration and ecosystem, CRM and customer management, web and e-commerce, user experience, scalability, migration and portability, and of course, community and support. So yeah, pretty much the full picture. Let's kick things off with price and licensing because honestly, budgets matter. A lot. So starting with Sage, you get really robust accounting baked right in. And there are these solid, well-established pricing tiers if you're a bigger enterprise. But, and here's the catch, Sage is usually more expensive, especially once you factor in licenses and ongoing maintenance. Not exactly the budget pick for smaller firms. Now with Odoo, oh man, this is a game changer. If you want bare bones, the Community Edition is actually free. Yep, free. And for paid versions, you only pay for the modules you need, which means if you're small, it stays pretty affordable. Of course, if you start going wild with customizations and extra add-ons, costs can climb, but the entry is way lighter. So when it comes to price and licensing, Odoo snags the win. Sorry, Sage, but open source just changes the game. All right, let's talk customization and flexibility. Sage lets you customize, but honestly, you'll almost always need a partner or an integrator to do anything significant. The out-of-the-box options are a bit, well, rigid. And if you want something custom, you're calling in specialists. On the flip side, Odoo is all about options. Open source means you or your devs can tweak, twist, and add just about anything. Plus, there's this modular design, so you only run what you need, and there's a massive app marketplace. But I should say, if you're customizing a ton, you'd better know your stuff. Otherwise, performance might get sketchy at enterprise scale. Still, for most users, Odoo is the flexible choice here, hands down. Now, core accounting is where Sage gets to flex. This is their home turf, and it shows. They're known for powerful financial management, compliance right out of the box, and honestly, accountants just trust it. But when you get outside of those financial modules, integration can start to feel a little stiff. Odoo? It's got solid accounting, especially in the enterprise version. Integrates easily with your other business apps, supports currencies, bank sync, you name it. But setup is key here. If you miss something, you'll feel it later. And compliance is a bit more hands-on. Still, for pure accounting and compliance, Sage edges ahead. Oh, and here's something cool that most people totally miss. Odoo actually has over 15,000 community-made apps and modules, making it one of the most modular business platforms on the planet. Seriously, you need spreadsheets, marketing automation, HR tools. There's literally an app for everything. Moving on to integration and ecosystem. Sage, well, does a decent job here. Smooth hookups with stuff like Microsoft 365 or Outlook, and you can configure it to work with Salesforce if you really want. The thing is, out-of-the-box integration is limited, and to get Sage playing nice with web tools or e-commerce, you need some heavy lifting and partners. Odoo, though? This is where things get spicy. There's a huge third-party app ecosystem, a wild amount of native integrations, think web, e-commerce, payments, and APIs galore. Obviously, not every integration is flawless, you might see quality vary, but overall, it's way more DIY and a lot more open. So, ecosystem and integrations? Odoo brings it home again. So what about CRM and customer management? With Sage, you get your basics, customer details, invoices, that kind of thing. But the CRM side is just there. Not super customizable, not focused on marketing, so you'll probably outgrow it fast. Odoo is kind of the opposite. There's a visual pipeline, you can automate tasks, tie in email, and build fancy marketing workflows. You can even go a little overboard, but for anyone who loves tweaking their CRM, Odoo's kind of a playground. Easy win for Odoo in the customer department. If your business lives online, pay attention here. Web and e-commerce features. Sage, to be totally honest, doesn't really play in this space natively. You can work with third-party e-commerce tools, but it takes time, and keeping everything running can get complicated. Odoo didn't just join the game, it brought its own ball. Full-on built-in website builder, e-commerce tools, Stripe for payments, and drag-and-drop everything. Setting up something like a Shopify store right inside your ERP? Pretty wild. Of course, the more you customize, the more you have to manage. But if personalization and web presence are important, Odoo wipes the floor here. All right, time to talk about user experience and accessibility. Sage Business Cloud isn't bad on mobile, but the desktop stuff is, well, it kind of feels like you're back in the early 2010s. The interface isn't exactly a breeze, especially if you're stuck in some legacy modules. Now, Odoo looks modern, super clean UI, and the SaaS version comes with native mobile apps. It's honestly pretty quick to pick up the basics, though I should warn you, as you pile on modules, it can get a little overwhelming. Still, for most folks, Odoo just feels easier to live in. Next up, scalability and target market. Sage is honestly super strong here if you're in mid-sized or enterprise territory. Industry modules, robust design, the works. The catch? Not nearly as nimble or affordable for small or brand new businesses. Plus, as you grow, costs can keep climbing. Odoo, though, is kind of built for growth. You can start with 1 or 2 modules and scale as you go, and it works well for both SMBs and huge operations. The flip side is, if you get massive, performance tweaks might become necessary. Overall, both have their space. I'd call this one a tie. Talking migration and portability, because switching systems is never fun. Sage is famously stable if you plan on sticking around, but try moving away, especially if you're running on-prem, and suddenly you're in a maze of restrictions. Odoo, because it's open source and uses pretty standard exports, usually makes migrations and moving between platforms way more doable. It's still an ERP, so don't expect it to be a walk in the park, but for most cases, Odoo is just more portable. Last but definitely not least, community and support. Sage has a strong partner network if you're in a regulated field, but the community isn't super lively, and most of the solid help you'll find comes with a bill at the end. Odoo, meanwhile, has this massive, super active global community, and you can find answers and resources everywhere. There's a ton of crowdsourced modules. But yeah, if you go with the free community edition, you might be fending for yourself when it comes to official support. Still, the energy and resourcefulness is definitely with Odoo. So after all those categories, you can kind of see the shape here. Odoo dominates in flexibility, pricing, integrations, and anything web or CRM related, while Sage's main strength is just killer out-of-the-box accounting, compliance, and enterprise reliability. If you lay this all out, Odoo just covers more bases for most modern businesses. At the end of the day, Odoo wins if you're all about flexibility, want easy web integration, or you're just starting out and want to grow. But if you're a bigger firm and compliance is your life and you never want to worry about regulations, Sage actually makes a lot of sense. So, think about where your business fits, and don't just chase the trend. The right tool depends on your scale and what you'll actually use. If you want to support our channel, feel free to use our affiliate link given in the video description. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video.